Thank you so much, Stephen, for rising to the challenge of putting on one of the first events as we leave the pandemic, hopefully. And I think one of the last events I went to actually was 15 months ago, where again we were bold, and First Minute Capital, our VC fund, put on an event just as in March last year, just as things were shutting down. So I haven't seen many of you since then. And thank you, as Stephen said, for going through all these wonderful hurdles to get here. I have heard that there's two theories, that either there is going to be a blooper highlight of people taking the COVID tests and those videos, and we've been videoing them, and we're going to put them all on and see which is the best. I've had conspiracy theorists that all of those, I don't want to take that video test because the government are looking at it, and I'm like, what on earth are the government going to do with it? But anyway, thank you to Dr. Jack Ryan and Certific for putting on a testing system that we do trust. And then back to in person. So just this weekend, I was reading a great article in The Guardian, of all things, about a serendipitous connection in this very building, the Royal Institution, that led to one of the greatest innovations. So some of you may know that 200 years ago, the young lab assistant Michael Faraday overheard his boss, Sir Humphrey Davy, talking about the mysterious circular effects of electromagnetism. Don't ask me to elaborate on that. Faraday thought, I can do something with this. After this unplanned interaction, he engaged in solitary focus to invent the electric motor, a transformative invention that has shaped the modern world, and today we're talking about the future of electric mobility. Would Faraday have managed this if he were working from home? For those of you that don't know my views on working from home, I could go on a whole nother hour's discourse on that. But that gives you a clue. So in any way, what that really means is it is delightful and important that you can all see each other, be here together, and make fantastic connections. This is a special occasion for us now. This is Founders Forum's 15th anniversary. We were due to be 15 last year, but we had a leap year. And so, as lots of you know, we love launching new ventures. You can look it up. I'm not going to tell you all the ones that we've launched, but I think I've launched about 14 since lastminute.com, and thrilled to be launching the ClimateTech Summit. And we actually work, I don't know if Anna or Sadie's here, but we had a brilliant plan as well last year to launch it, but that one got scuppered for obvious reasons. As Stephen said, we will, with our partners at Informa, there will be a ClimateTech, a much larger ClimateTech event in September. So you are here really as the cornerstones, the key DNA of the beginning of a bigger journey. And that's one of the things I've learned from business, is that the DNA that you pick at the beginning is very hard to change and modify. So I'm relying on all of you to help us make ClimateTech events even more impactful as we go forward later this year. So I'm going to be super quick on why we're here today, because I think you all get it. But I think if there's one thing that I thought there was a little bit of differentiation, because obviously everyone is now talking about climate change, well and good, but what I think we can do is help, not on the policy side, that's not where I could claim to be, to add much value, but really on the connecting of capital with entrepreneurs and with the people who are not complaining about climate change, but actually finding and making solutions and inventing the solutions. So that's what gets me most excited, is when I talk to those of you who are coming up with solutions. I think just super briefly, just a note to thank the advisory board, but I think Stephen's already done that, and they have helped us hugely. I'm going to actually cut through a lot of this and just say that there's some other things that we are working on as Founders Factory and other parts of the group in sustainability. So we have a sustainability seed program, which I'm told has to go unnamed, but we're launching with Founders Factory shortly alongside a great entrepreneurial team out of Bratislava. And we are also working on a planet fund and a climate tech sector and various things. So if anyone wants to help us do that, Founders Factory, for those that don't know, is the corporate-backed multi-sector incubator and accelerator. If you can find a better way of saying that, please help me. And we've invested in some top founders in the space via Factory, First Minute as an angel. Airly are going to be demoing air pollution monitoring, demoing tomorrow. Pangaea, you'll have been given your shirts now. Pangaea is, I think I'm allowed to say, probably the fastest growing brand I've ever seen in their year one numbers, and obviously the material science platform with a Gen Z fashion brand. Byway we launched, which was slow travel. That was actually sort of, The Guardian obviously loved that, so this is flight-free travel. That was before the French banned flights for less than 2 hours, actually. So, and then we've done Oxwash, Bauer Collective, and a load more. There is, I'm wary of just saying big numbers because there are, and you all know it, there are huge numbers that you're not going to learn anything if I tell you the big numbers going to climate. It's $1 trillion opportunity. You know that, that's why you're here. On this note, talking of trillions, there is a man who would only get out of bed for trillions, having left one of the top jobs at Sky, having gone to help the Prime Minister win his campaign and become an MP and also the person in charge of business relations at Number 10 in the current administration previously, has now taken on the new role as the government's net zero champion. Anyone doesn't know the answer to this question is terrible. Those who, you should all know that is Andrew Griffith, the aforementioned, and the man who's going to help us.